What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Do remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all the latest content. And let's get into this one. So it's fight week now. We're just now a few days away from the fight between Frazer Clarke and Fabio Wardley, or should I say it the other way around, actually. Fabio Wardley, the British champion, and he's defending against Frazer Clarke. Now, this is an interesting fight, given where both guys are in their career. Wardley, I believe, 17-0, undefeated, lots of KOs on the record. And Frazer Clarke is, he's into his now mid 30s. I think he's about 34 now, Frazer Clarke. So he's getting on a bit. He's only had 8 fights thus far. And this is a fight where it's his opportunity to now, hit the big time. And I would say that out of the two of them, I think, as I said in my previous video about this fight, I think Frazer Clarke's got more to lose here. He's the guy that comes from the sort of Olympic pedigree, the good background there. He hasn't been that impressive in his performances leading up to this. So he's got it all to do. For me, I feel that he's kind of the underdog in this fight. I think Wardley's going to be a favorite with most people, given certainly his last performance, the KO victory over fellow Brit David Adelai, which was a good KO. He demonstrated discipline there, good skill, good power, speed, agility. He demonstrated all of his attributes there. Um, and of the two of them, in the pro ranks, I would say Fabio Wardley, it goes without saying that he's got more experience in the pro ranks, and he's gone from that white collar background, which is, it's one of those where you don't usually find fighters that come from that sort of background coming into professional boxing and doing so well, doing as well as Fabio Wardley has. So deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think tactically with this fight, it's going to be a case of Fabio Wardley needing to just sort of stick to his boxing, use his speed advantage, get in, do your damage, get out, use all of the ring. Don't allow Frazer Clarke to get close to you. Don't allow Frazer Clarke to sort of smother you or try and smother your work. You just do your clean work, throw your combinations, use your speed advantage, and just basically light Frazer Clarke up. That would be my tactics for Fabio Wardley. He's with Ben Davison, I believe. Same trainer as Anthony Joshua, very technical trainer, and I'm sure they'll have sort of worked out a game plan. But for me, Wardley just needs to sort of stick to boxing, try and keep it long, and light Frazer Clarke up with hard and fast combinations, and be gone before Frazer Clarke can do his work. So you don't want to really let Frazer Clarke into this fight. Just keep the fight keep the fight at a distance. Start with a nice jab. He's got, of the two guys, it's very clear that Wardley's the man with the quicker hands, quicker feet. He's the more explosive guy. Whether he's the more powerful puncher, I don't know. But I think he's definitely the guy that's quicker on the draw, quicker, more explosive sort of guy. Whereas Frazer Clarke, the problem with him is he does have Olympic pedigree, but he's very one-paced. He's not the quickest of heavyweights. He's very sort of one-paced, and he doesn't really inject any urgency into his work. Like, we haven't really seen that in his fights where, you kind of switch up the pace and inject some urgency and get someone out there. I mean, he is good. He does the basics very well, but he just doesn't have that sort of urgency and that speed. Sort of the same thing that Wardley has. He's more on the slower side. He's a bit cumbersome and one paced. So there's ways he can win a fight as well, Frazer Clarke, but he would need to basically shut the movement of Wardley down. I think for Frazer Clarke, he needs to go to the body and go to the body from early, try to slow the legs of Fabio Wardley down, try to sort of draw Fabio Wardley into a toe-to-toe battle. And I'd say, as others have said, as Punch Perfect Boxing has said, that, use your weight on him. If Clarke's got to really use his weight, he's got to try and smother Fabio Wardley and just slow the fight down, make it a very, a battle of attrition, make it an ugly fight, make it a fight where the pace is very slow, and, use your body weight, use anything that you can use, hit him anywhere that you can hit him and just slow him down, make the fight ugly, and, make him have to make Wardley uncomfortable in there. Just kind of smother him and try to wear him out in the early part of the fight, and then you get him into the later rounds and have your way with him there. And I think, for me, that's the kind of tactics that Frazer Clarke is going to need to use. Is going to need to sort of jab his way in, try to get up close with Fabio Wardley, hold him, smother him, hold him and hit him, and just use his body weight to sort of put pressure on Fabio Wardley. Just make it as uncomfortable as possible, because Frazer Clarke, obviously, he lacks the speed and agility, the athleticism of Fabio Wardley, whereas Fabio Wardley naturally has that speed, athleticism. He has that stuff in abundance naturally. That's his gifting, and he's a younger fighter as well. So for Clarke, he's just got to make it ugly, try to maul Fabio Wardley. Don't allow Fabio Wardley to tee off on him. He's got to just try and get in there, fight in the pocket, fight like a big man, lean on him, hold it, do whatever you got to do to, especially punching wise, go to that body and invest in that body from very early. Sometimes don't even worry about the head of Fabio Wardley, just keep going to his body and sort of wear him out to where, when it comes to those latter rounds, round 6, 7, 8, those sort of mid to late rounds, for Frazer Clarke, if he does things right, he can sort of tire Fabio Wardley out, and make Fabio Wardley mad, maybe, just tire him out, wear him out a bit, and then when it comes to those later rounds, if Frazer Clarke is smart and he does things right and he wears him out, goes to the bottom, then he can perhaps look to take Fabio Wardley out late. However, in terms of prediction wise, for me, I'm sort of firmly picking Fabio Wardley. I don't think Frazer Clarke will be able to get his tactics quite right to negate what Fabio Wardley does. So for me, I see Wardley just being a bit too quick and too explosive for Frazer Clarke. And I think this is one where Frazer Clarke is just going to be taking far too many shots from Fabio Wardley, and he might get stopped late or a points decision. I'm sort of leaning towards this being a very tough fight for Fabio Wardley, but him just sort of peppering and outboxing Frazer Clarke, and maybe hurting Frazer Clarke on a few occasions en route to a decision victory. So that's what I think on it. I think, as much as there are several ways for Frazer Clarke to win this fight, I just think he's not going to get his tactics right, and Fabio Wardley is going to get his tactics right, and he's going to pepper and outbox and outfight Frazer Clarke. Just going to be a bit too quick and too sharp for Frazer Clarke, and it might be the toughest fight of Fabio Wardley's career, but I see him pulling through with a decision victory. Let me know what your thoughts are on the fight, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.